Good morning, Year 5s. It's our English. It's another one of our do nows from across Year 5. So we've got verb forms, apostrophes, and we've got commas in this one. So, Dave was here, or Dave were here. It's Dave was here. Were, remember, is when it's plural. So if they were here. Amy ain't cooking today, or Amy isn't cooking today. It isn't. Amy isn't cooking today. Well, she is cooking today, but use a verb form of break for Dave his leg. Break doesn't actually work. Dave break his leg, but Dave broke his leg. Use a verb form for sleep. Mr. Cooper. You could have a couple. You could have Mr. Cooper slept for 7 hours, or Mr. Cooper sleeps for 7 hours. Which one's correct? The cat's collar was blue, or the cat's collar was blue. So technically, you can have plural cats with one collar, but it wouldn't logically work that all the cats would be wearing one collar at the same time. So it would be the top one. So it's one cat's collar. But that apostrophe is correct. But the sentence can't be correct. What type of apostrophe is this? The cricketers were bored watching it rain. It is an incorrect apostrophe because there's nothing belonging to the cricketers. So that's your plural possessive apostrophe, which is totally correct. But the word after it isn't something that belongs to them. The word doesn't belong to the cricketers. So it should just be no apostrophe. So it's incorrect. So it is no type of apostrophe. Correct this. They're Mr. Cooper's pens. There's two things wrong here. You need an apostrophe there because it's Mr. Cooper's pens. So one Mr. Cooper, so apostrophe before the S. It's also the wrong there. It's the wrong homophone of there. It should be they apostrophe R-E. They are Mr. Cooper's pens. They're Mr. Cooper's pens. Commas. Whilst waiting, I read a magazine. Is that correct? Yes. I walked to the shops and it was raining. Comma before the and. So there's nothing to do in that one. That one needs a comma before the and. Oh, hello, said Dave. A comma there and a comma there. Simple. And your English today is carrying on with your letter to another Year 5. I'm just very quickly, going to show you what a couple did at the hub yesterday. So, doing the letter for the new Year 5s that we start in, I'll print them all off in the new school year, so they can read them. And what a couple of children did in the hub yesterday was kind of do a bit of a, like you would with your stories, a bit of a mind map. Ah, no, my pen's going to run out. So, and what we would do, what they did was simply write down some like main points of Year 5. So in here, you might put space. But there's no point putting that because that doesn't help you out. That's just, in my letter I'm going to write space. No. It's the branching off next that's useful. So you've got the Jaffa Cake moon phases. You've got the green screen. Mr. Cooper, obviously, handsome, funny, but hilarious. Mrs. Croft, a lot of them put the well-being table. But again, what it's all right mentioning it, but what is it? They need to know what it is. It's kind of like show, not tell. Don't just tell them it. Show them by explaining. So, you got your leaflets. She put things like grapes out, didn't she? Healthy little treats for those who needed something like that. Keeping the fruit, fruit intake up. There was those pebble art. Year 5 in general, things like spelling bee. Wake and shake. You can do some artists. So weekly music. So things like that. And then when you come to write it, if you haven't already, you've got things to actually refer to. You've got your trips and all of that as well. So just something like that might help to get things down in your letter, rather than just go, that was fun, that was fun, that was fun, that was fun. Actually, what was it? What was it that you can look forward to? The spelling bee, you can explain it. You stand up in pairs. There's no pressure. The way you can shake, it's a chance to listen to some weekly music. You can dance if you want to. You could put a few artists. So we listen to people like S Club 7, Madness. Give them a couple of examples. So, just something that might help you out with your letter there. A couple of people have sent them in already, and they're lovely to read, so fantastic. But each one of these could potentially be sort of a paragraph, couldn't it? Each big idea could be a paragraph. Anyway, good luck with that, and hopefully you enjoy another chance to reflect on Year 5 whilst doing this.